Well, hello again, people of YouTube. It's John, and I'm back again with another product spotlight. Today we're going to take a look at this locomotive from Atlas, so let's go to the workbench and take a look. Alright, so here's what we're looking at today. This is an HO scale Dash8-40B locomotive. It comes from Atlas's Master line, and I looked on their website and found that this locomotive is available in two different variants. One is DCC ready, and the other one comes with ESU, Loc-Sound, DCC, and sound installed. The DCC ready one is $179.95, and the DCC equipped one is $274.95. This is the DCC equipped one, so that's what we'll be talking about today. I should also mention I counted 9 different road names, and some of those have more than one road number available. This one's decorated for Union Pacific number 1848. It comes with the model, obviously, in one of these cradles that you have to unscrew it from the bottom. And I mention this every time. I'll mention it again, and I'm sure I'll mention it next time too. I'm not terribly excited about having to unscrew the model out of the case, but it does protect the model very well. It doesn't move at all in the package, and so it doesn't have stuff pushing up on it during shipping. It comes with exploded view drawings, a couple of warranty cards, and then a quick start guide for the DCC. So I'll get the screwdriver out and we'll take a closer look at it. As I was taking this model out of the package, I noticed that it comes with some extra parts, and these are detail parts, including sunshades, which will go here. We'll look at that a little bit more closely when it's time. But I also want to mention that as I was pulling this out of the package, I'm thinking to myself, this looks better than most of the Atlas models that I've seen. I mean, there's grill detail in here, which we'll take a closer look at later, and then grill detail on the top. It's just, there's chain detail on the truck. There's a lot going on here, even as far as having a patched number. So let's take a closer look at this and see what we find. I've scrutinized the paint on this model, and it is absolutely flawless. The separation lines between the red, gray, and yellow are perfect. It has a little yellow sill stripe, which looks great against the gray. It's not quite as opaque, or it seems like it might not be as opaque as the base coat, but I think it's supposed to be a different color yellow. The handrail's nice and straight. You can see some red paint picking out details in the fuel tank area. And something that I'm really impressed by is, if I tilt this up just a little bit, look at all the detail that's underneath here. From the air tank and some piping for a sander, another air tank up here. There's more brake detail, and I mentioned a minute ago the chain. How often do you see that on an Atlas model? That's pretty cool. At this point, I went on to surmise the origin of this locomotive and mused that it might be from cotton belt. Well, it turns out I was exactly right. This locomotive was patched by UP to 1848, formerly St. Louis Southwestern 8049. So I was right. It currently is in preservation at the Illinois Railway Museum. Pretty cool. So you can go see this locomotive in person. So looking at the front, and you can see, I don't know if you can tell from this angle, but there's a little cab figure in there. So the engineer is driving. You have separately applied windshield wipers, which look especially nice. On top there's a separately applied AC unit. These grabs here also are freestanding. The sand filler hatches look to be separate pieces. And I'm just looking at the paint on the handrails here. Also is cool. It has the white where the guy would climb up, but then here it's gray. Looks very cool. And then the stairs also have the white striping, safety striping. That is a freestanding brake wheel, and these are really tiny, fine wire grabs back up in here. And then I'm noticing down around the pilot area, there's an uncoupling lever. You have the grab here on the snowplow, and you have the MU hose back in here, and you have more hoses down here. Hey, this is really cool. And again, like I said, I don't really remember seeing this much detail, even on Atlas's Master Series before. Let's take a look at the other side of the front here. Right, so from this angle, you can see there's also the air hose right there, and more MU hoses. It's pretty cool. The logo across the front is very well done also. And, yeah, this is pretty impressive. So looking at the fireman's side, you can see the conductor in there sitting in his seat. I should mention that the holes for the sunshades are drilled out already, so they should be very easy to install. And then something I'm noticing on this side that I think looks especially good is there's some extra paint treatment on these. I guess these are air intakes right here. See how they're darker from the rest? That's a nice touch. Something else cool that I'm noticing is that there's a separate step right here that has the white stripe, the safety stripe. And then tilting this up just a little, you can see again all the detail. You have a speed recorder here with the little cable that goes up under the sill there. Your jacking pads are already installed or modeled on this. This is pretty cool. Sand lines. Yeah, I mean this is definitely a step up from what I'm used to seeing. So here we see a lot of similar detail to what's on the front. These are very, very thin wire grabs, and they go all the way to the top. You can see there's a gray one right up there. This is pretty cool. They've got plated over number boards. Looking good. Just, it's the same detail as what we have in the front. This is excellent. This is what I'm talking about when I say it's really good detail. These recesses, this could have easily just been sort of a molded blob on here, but there's a lot of really good detail showing here. Taking a look at the detail on the top, you can see that these are actually 6 separately applied, what looks like photo-etched grills. They might be plastic. It's kind of hard to tell. And then I like how the stack is a separately molded piece, so it looks like there's some depth here. Probably what you'd want to do is paint that black and then put some, weathering powder around it to complete the look. This is a separately applied 3-chime horn. It's probably a Leslie of some sort. I'm a little surprised that the lift rings are not separately applied pieces. I mean, considering how detailed the rest of the model is. These grills up here have some nice detail to them, nice depth. And then I mentioned about the AC earlier. This is always my favorite part of the product spotlights. Running the engine. You can see the model has very good low speed control, undoubtedly due to the 5-pole skewed armature motor. And of course, you know, that has dual flywheels. And yeah, these things really do crawl. Looks good. The lights are directional and come on with the F0 key. And these are golden white LEDs. The number boards come on with the headlight. And now on the back, I hit it in reverse, and there you go. Looks good on both ends. I've seen some older Dash 8s from Atlas, and I have to say that I don't remember them having this much or this fine of detail, especially in the undersill. Now, the grills on the side also were outstanding, and those separately applied grills on top, also outstanding. The fact that it had all those individually applied wire grabs is kind of par for the course nowadays, but it had wire grabs on the snowplow, and it also had detail in terms of all the hoses and connections. So again, I don't know if Atlas has maybe come up with some new redesigned tooling or whatever, but this is really showing a lot more detail even than what I'm accustomed to seeing in the Master Series. So good job. Also, I want to mention that I remember reading somewhere, and I think it was on Atlas's website, that the B32-8s have working ditch lights. So that would be like the Amtrak model. But it's worth a look at Atlas's website, atlasrr.com, to see what they have available and see if they have what you're looking for. So anyway, that does it for this one, and I'll catch you next time.